Yeah.
Yeah. What it is?
I think it's going to.
Right.
Yeah. Hi, we're about to start. And then Nicholas, as usual, I'll give you the go in the chat.
Super. Thanks very much. Okay, super, and welcome everyone to this session, which is going to address one of the great challenges of providing enterprise services, which is how to make them sustainable over time. And in this case, how to make them sustainable in relation to a microfinance organization in Sri Lanka, but hopefully with wider and more significant lessons for us all as we think about how are these services that we want to provide to entrepreneurs going to be sustainable over time. And it's my pleasure to welcome Anura from the Berendina Micro Investment Company based in Sri Lanka, who is going to present for about 20 minutes on their approach to delivering enterprise support services and how they're enfolded in the microfinance institution. And then we can have a conversation. Please, as questions occur to you, drop them in the box and we will try to answer as many of them as feasible. So Anura, welcome, and off you go.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicholas. Can we share the screen now?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that first. Hope it is visible now, Nicholas?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay. Good. Then greetings to everybody from Colombo, Sri Lanka. And thank you very much, BTK conference organizers, for giving Berendina this important opportunity for us to share our story among the enterprise development world. As Nicholas already introduced us, we are a microfinance institution in Sri Lanka. And now, you know, those who know microfinance, I believe most of the people who are listening would know about that. And if you go back to the history of microfinance of about 20 to 30 years ago, and currently the objectives remain the same. It is mostly to develop small enterprises, entrepreneurship as a means of generating income and employment for vulnerable and poor people who are unbankable. But the situation in the history and the current situation is quite different, where in the history of 20-30 years ago, most of the microfinance institutes were providing mainly credit as financial services, and also was providing business development services or enterprise development services, you see. But what I see nowadays, and you also would witness about that, most MFIs are providing only financial services by and large. Therefore, the mainly basically the main reason is there was an evolution that happens in the middle, where there was a little bit of decline at the beginning of MFIs doing enterprise services, and it was largely excluded from enterprise development services. And but we are an organization believing the enterprise development services or business development services should be an integral part of microfinance, and therefore we are an organization committed for that and doing that. And my presentation will entail 5 sections. One is the problem that we are going to address, and our solution for the problem, the results that we see right now, and the potential for scaling up of the solution, and the challenges that we are facing and we are foreseeing. As I said, there was an evolution of microfinance from having business development services with credit and not having business development services. And as I already said, that in the years of 2005-2010 time period, there was a discussion about 2 approaches, that is minimalist, doing only credit, and credit plus or maximalist approach, where business development services were also provided. And as I said earlier, now there is a greater involvement of minimalist approaches in the microfinance. And what is the reason? The main reason was in the history, there were a lot of donor funding available for training and capacity development of micro entrepreneurs who are borrowers of MFIs. But there had been a decline during the past, and therefore, when monies are not available, the MFIs cannot provide enterprise services. But for their credit services, they charge an interest or the service fee and can make it sustainable. But for training and capacity development for entrepreneurs, client does not value it as something that they should pay for. And also, they are not ready to pay the service fees. And that is the main reason this situation came up. But today, if we give, as a donor, give sum of money to MFI and ask, whether you do provide enterprise development services to your clients, definitely those MFIs will grab it and do services because they know the value of it.
And Noura, sorry,
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt? We need to go into presentation mode for your presentation at the moment. We're just on the first page, and it's now we're on the second page, but we need to go into presentation mode because we can see the slides on the right hand side, left hand side.
Yeah, make it presentation.
Yep.
Presentation. Below. Is that okay now?
That's super. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, next slide. Then this is our solution. The solution has 2 components. One is making it financially sustainable. Second one is having a capacity in the organization. How did we make it sustainable? We introduced a coupon mechanism called enterprise development coupons, or EDS coupons. How it works is when we give a loan of, say, for an example, 200,000, we give a set of coupons of 7,000 rupees. Each coupon is 350 rupees and we give 20. And altogether, loan is made to 207,000. And clients pay the loan capital, the coupon value, and also the interest in the monthly installments. But we don't charge interest for the coupon value. And what happens is, over the period of loan repayment, they pay a sum of money equal to coupon value to the organization, to MFI, for their business development services. Then the second important aspect is how this coupon can be used. The coupons can be used primarily to pay for the training, whether it is internally given or externally provided by the organization or outside. These coupons can be used. Outside does not accept these coupons. What we do is we accept it and we pay in cash to those organizations. And other users are, they can use it for establishing marketing linkages. For an example, we do annual trade fairs, and trade fair fee, stall fee, can be paid by using coupons. And right now we have started initiative to provide agricultural and livestock inputs. And these coupons can be used for livestock insurance premium payments. And also, in addition to enterprise development services, we are using these coupons for some other purpose, where we allow clients to pay for an educational scholarship fund that is managed by the organization for the betterment of for the benefit of our clients' children. Then in the future, we are going to charge using coupons for the business counseling services also. And this has made the organization to do enterprise development services sustainably, charging a fee. And also, this makes a demand-driven thing, because it is not supply-driven where we provide, and if clients need, only they will get the services. And if they don't use coupons, what will happen is, they can surrender the coupon or return the coupon as the last loan installment, where they don't have any cost, because they get the money that they have paid back to them. Next slide. And the second part of the solution is the capacity in the organization. As we are dedicated for enterprise services, we have a dedicated department for that, called Enterprise Development Department. And we have 34 staff in that, whereas we have 253 credit staff. These enterprise development staff are not doing any credit. And you can see that for each 7 credit staff, we have an enterprise development staff member in the organization. In each branch, we have an enterprise development officer attached to the branch. And we have a variety of services. You can see the variety in the slide. We have classified this A, B, C, D, and E. Initially, we started with A, B, and C, where A is the training type, various type of training. It's agriculture training, business development training, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, maybe motivational training, and all these training are under a category where we charge fees always. It is not given free. The B type, when we started, we gave it free, like business counseling, follow-up support, networking support, business registration, etc. And C type is not a service as such, but it is a project. Where we wanted to see new enterprise opportunities are creating. And therefore, we have developed a new product, new service called C type, where we ask our enterprise development officers to organize larger projects. For an example, to grow passion fruit for 100 farmers. And they can use A type, B type, any type of service and do a project. And that is what we call C type, because we have identified it separately, because we want to see that new enterprises are emerging or existing enterprises are developed as a cluster. And D type and E type we added later for product marketing, where we have an online trading platform called eCade right now. And the E type is enterprise environmental services, where we provide environmental solutions for the enterprise. For an example, the motor garages or motor service stations, which make affluent water, we have a solution for purification of water. And similarly, there are many other solutions. And those are the type of services and capacity we have within the organization to provide enterprise services. And these are some photos for you to see. Like you can see the first motivational training, we get about 200 people for a program. And we get very much leading soft skills trainers in Colombo to go to rural areas and do this training for the for our beneficiaries. And it varies from agriculture training to technical industrial training, entrepreneurship training, and also we have a product called exposure visits. What we do is we bring these people we take these people to places where they can see and learn. Like it could be a research institute, it could be a model farm, it could be a good enterprise which they can see and learn. And this is also part of our A-type services for which we charge fees. Then I am going to touch upon a little bit of results. Now results, I am going to talk in 4 areas, mainly the financial sustainability, because that was our main objective. And you can see our income and expenses for enterprise services in total. Basically, this has all overhead costs also, where we were recovering or making 80% sustainable at the beginning, but it has come down to 60. And of course, in 2020, it was very much less because of COVID, but otherwise we would have maintained somewhere around 70% cost recovery. And the important thing is, now we have coupons value of 586,000 US dollars in the market. The clients can buy services for that value, and it is the market that we have created, purchasing power that we have created for our EBS team to sell their services. And then I think you would be interested in looking at impact. And this is the impact is very, I would say, very difficult to measure, and it is an expensive exercise. But the first, the left-hand corner is a research undertaken by the university, one leading university in Sri Lanka, where it has shown that the enterprise services has contributed to the creation of new enterprises and expand existing enterprises. And you can see how this has happened. For an example, the participants have said 85% of participants have indicated that their incomes are increased. And similarly, you can see the list of outcomes that this research team has identified. And second bar chart shows whether our services, it is not only EDS, it is basically credit services, and this can contribute other elements in the environment also, like national economic development in the country. But what we see is that when people move from loan cycle to another, that there is an increase in their wealth. How I have shown here is that I have taken a cutoff for 200 NPL national poverty line cutoff and shown how many clients in each loan cycle are above that particular poverty line. You can see in 2020, loan cycle 1, it was only 60% of clients are above that. But the red bar chart shows in the loan cycle 5, 83% of clients are above this particular NPL level. This is coming from an internationally recognized poverty measurement tool called PPI, Progress Out of Poverty Index, or also called the Poverty Probability Index. And we use it every year and use it for every loan cycle for us to measure this. And then third point with regard to results, I want to show whether the fee charging or service training provisioning free makes difference in demand. You can see the first set of bars for Berendina, where we charge fees for a training product called SIYB. I think you all know this is a ILO product, internationally recognized, and we are a partner for that. We provide service. And second set of bars for an NGO, international NGO, which provides services charging without charging fees, free services. And you can see that the services or training participation or training programs conducted vary according to the funding availability mostly. But in our case, as we have a capacity to charge fees and deliver services, our the spread was more uniform, and also done training programs more or less close to free service provision. And therefore, what we believe is that service fees is not a matter if you do provide good training. And then loan repayment. As MFIs, we are very keen on seeing whether our services are contributing to the loan repayment. Loan repayment situation is measured in MFIs as portfolio at risk. If there is any, basically, somebody doesn't know PAR, of course, it is something opposite to the repayment rate, where if PAR is lower, recovery is good. If PAR is higher, recovery is bad. And in 2017, our organization had 0.6 PAR 30 against the 5% in the industry. In 2020, we have 10% against 25 in the industry. This is basically due to the COVID situation. And therefore, we believe that our enterprise services contribute to the loan repayment also. And this is this slide also shows you about at a glance about our organization. We have 70,000 clients and 30 branches, and we provide training approximately about 1,700 programs a year, and 35,000 clients are trained on different training programs. And we are the first licensed microfinance company in Sri Lanka by the central bank, and largest licensed microfinance company. And we are proud to say that we got this award for 2021 as the best microfinance institute and best agricultural lending institutes in Sri Lanka. And okay, let's have a small video clip. Have a look.
Enterprise Development Services is another unique feature of BMIC because we truly believe that credit alone is not adequate for success in small and micro businesses, where people also need learning opportunities in this fast changing, rapidly evolving world. And no other MFI, either for profit or non-for-profit, has this type of dedicated services because this is costly exercise.
My name is Dakshika Herath. I live in the Midiwatta Youth Village in Maradan Kadawala. I found out about Berendina in 2015, but I joined it thinking that it was simply a lending society. Only after taking the first loan did I find out that they also conduct training programs. Then in 2016, I joined a training program, and in August 2016, I started this.
My name is Raja. We live in the Kadabula estate, middle division. My wife took a loan from Berendina, and we started this business of making bikes. Berendina has given me all the training and guidance and support I need to develop and grow the business. Now I plan to take the next loan and improve my production and storage facilities. I'm also pleased to say we were recognized and awarded at the Best Entrepreneur Award ceremony for 2017, organized by Berendina.
BMIC has created an innovative solution to ensure clients pay for these services in the form of enterprise development coupons. We are also very happy that this innovation has now started spreading around the world. 3 MFIs in Nepal have already started replicating this model.
Next slide. Okay, then let me tell you about some of the challenges that we basically have been facing. And one of the sort of issues or challenges we were facing was we can charge fees for training easily. It is not a problem. But when it comes to other services, the type of B services, business counseling, advice, helping for business registration, charging fees a challenge. And therefore, we try to do that, and we have some innovative approaches, but still it is a challenge. Then second one is balancing the quantity and quality. To make it sustainable, we have to have figures, we have to have numbers, we have to have quantities. And when we try to do that, there is a trade-off of quality to a certain extent. And that is a challenge that we are trying to basically address, and we have done a lot on that, but we still see that there is much more to do. And then cost associated with impact. And it is huge cost, and we have done some, but we see that it is not affordable for an organization like us to do extensive impact monitoring. Then, of course, government and NGOs, there are free service provision, free training provision, and that also is a challenge, but we don't see it as much of a competition, but as a challenge we see. And finally, we have partly digitalized this product. For an example, our core banking system is a complete ERP, which has enterprise development coupon system, and also enterprise development service planning, training costing, and training program designing, and training client registration. And all these things are inbuilt in that. But the client side, we want to digitalize that also, because digitalization is going to be the future. And we see that it is a very costly exercise, and we are looking for some donor assistance for going forward to do digitalization. And I think that is what I have prepared for to share with you. I hope I have done in time that Nicholas given to me. Thank you very much. Then over to Nicholas.
Not bad on timekeeping, Anura. Very good. No, thank you very much for that fascinating presentation. A quick question from me, and then I'll turn to the chat section and try and answer the questions that are popping up there. So when you look at the total client base, and what's the proportion of people who actually take up training? So yeah, you know, who say, yes, I'd love to have a coupon, thanks very much, let's go, as opposed to people say, oh, training, no, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, as I said, when we had good times in before 2018, because after 2018, microfinance and literacy had a little bit of a hit in Sri Lanka. In addition to COVID, of course, we had some other problems. But even in 2018-19, I think we had training of about 30,000 clients. And before that, 35,000, 40,000, meaning at least 1/3 to 50% are taking some type of training. It could be even an exposure visit, right? And that is what we have experienced.
Right. And does most people's choice is to be trained to use their coupon with you as the organization, so that to spend it with you, as it were, and how many decide to spend it outside you for other services that they've identified?
Yeah, it is at the moment. It is very less, like 5% of the clients. Yes, right. And we organize training programs and services. Therefore, there is not much need, but there are growing businesses who need to go out and learn things which we cannot afford to provide, and such people they use. And also for insurance premium, because we are not providing insurance, they have to get insurance covered from an insurance provider, for which they have to pay outside.
Right. So questions. So one question is: have you ever measured whether provision of BDS has improved your client retention over time? Do you have any sense that more people stay with you rather than go elsewhere for credit because you offer this service?
That, of course, we don't have a formal study done about that, but what we hear from the field, if you go and ask, because we get different types of visitors to the organization, they go and ask, what do you value in Berendina? And enterprise services comes one of the first three, definitely. In addition to, because our interest rates is lower, and that would come first, and we provide scholarships that would also come in the third, maybe second or third, enterprise services would come.
Okay, that's very interesting. And do you see that there's any danger in providing these services and their sustainability on your interest rate? So obviously, sorry. So obviously, the cost of provision is, if I've understood correctly, not yet at full cost recovery. So does that mean that the organization's operating costs are higher than they would be, and therefore does that then get passed on in higher interest rate charges to your customer?
I don't think so. The main reason is, from the microfinance industry players except government and some cooperative societies and regulated banks, they are not doing much microfinance, but do less microfinance. Ours is the lowest interest in the market.
Right.
And the central bank cap rate is 35%. Most MFIs charge that or above that, unregulated ones, of course. Regulated ones are at 35, but ours is 27% effective.
Right.
Much less. And therefore, we don't see it as an additional cost. Of course, we cover 20% to 30% from interest income. That's true. But there is an additional income that it is a hidden income, right? For an example, under this 500,000 US dollar coupon out in the market, at least 50% are in cash with us right now. About 40 to 60%. We don't have exactly idea, but we know that 40% or so. And that money is being used for a revolving fund for lending. And we make money out of that. But we have not taken that figure into our sustainability calculation.
Right. Okay. Yep. No, I understood. And do you see any differences in the nature of the business in terms of its size or its sector, or perhaps even its the ownership, male, female, in the willingness to take up enterprise development support? Is it bigger businesses owned by men or owned by women? Is it businesses in agriculture rather than businesses in other fields? Is there a sort of sectoral segmentation in terms of people's willingness to take on board this kind of support?
In terms of gender, it is women. I think that also goes with the majority of the clients are women, and also they find time to attend training and so on. That also makes that happen. And but there are men also. Not that men is not there, but when it comes to the segment, both agriculture and non-agriculture is there, but largely I see that industrial sector, because agriculture training is not seen as much useful because they think that they know it. They know agriculture, and yeah, it is to a certain extent also. And we also don't try to teach something that they know. And it is more on non-agricultural type of, it could be livestock, it could be industries or services.
Yeah. And you mentioned other organizations replicating this model. You mentioned that the 3 in Nepal. Could you, are those efforts at replication both with you and with others? Are they just very informal? Is there a network of microfinance organizations that have decided that minimalist credit is not for them and maximalist credit is, and you've become a movement? So is there, or is this just, sort of word of mouth, informal, yes, let's give this a try?
In fact, it happens like this. There was one lady from MFI Nepal who visited us. And she has seen this, and then she has gone back. She was very keen in doing that. And she has gone to a donor called, what is his name? Saksham. Saksham is a was a donor-funded project in Nepal. I think British ODA at that time. I don't know what new name. British funded project, and they have seen this as an opportunity for getting this knowledge to MFIs there, and they have called proposals and selected 3 MFIs to get this technical assistance.
Because when I was a microfinance person, which is a few years ago now, we indeed had long conversations about the benefits of a minimalist approach as distinct from a maximalist approach. How much training should you provide? What kinds of training? Is that conversation still going on? Is it a trend towards thinking, well, actually, we need to provide more enterprise support services if we're going to maximize the benefits of microfinance? Where does that sort of conversation sort of sit currently in the world of microfinance?
From my knowledge, and it is not much in the agenda these days, because the subjects like financial inclusion, digitalization of financial services, those are the pet words and the areas that is being discussed. And this is maybe the opportunities for enterprise service provision due to lack of understanding of possibility of making it self-sustainable would be the reason, and donor funding is not much available for MFIs to take up. That may be the reason also, but there is not much discussion, I would say, but it doesn't mean that it is not. Entrepreneurship development is a theme that is being discussed always.
Right. And when it comes to quality, so obviously you want to, in your own services, you want the highest level of quality in delivery, but are there any restrictions on how somebody can spend their coupon if they're not going to spend it with you? So if I was an entrepreneur and I said, I want to work with Blog's business development services, and you thought that Blog's business development services weren't very good, actually, would you say, no, you can't spend the coupon on them because we don't think they're very good? Are there any restrictions on how I can spend my training money?
Not really at the moment, right. Because we value what clients need. Yep. And for an example, there are training programs that we do provide, but outsiders also provide.
Yep. And
there are clients has come and said, okay, I want to go for that training, and we encash and send it. That is not, because it's a business for us, and we should not cut down on our business also. And also we have to think about the benefits that we are trying to deliver to the clients.
Yep. No, absolutely understood. So do you think that there will be a point when this provision of enterprise development support within your organization will hit that magical sort of 100% sustainability? We've got it to a level of scale, level of sophistication. Everything is being paid for out of the customer's own, as it were, revenue. Is that a goal that you want to achieve?
Definitely, yes. We had that goal in our existing 5-year strategic plan, but due to issues that was in the industry in 2018 and COVID situation right now, we could not achieve it. But going forward, it is the strategy. Definitely, we want to make it.
Yeah. And how dependent on that is on achieving a certain level of scale in terms of uptake and a number of clients, and how much of that is a sort of costing question about how you're going to cost those services going forward?
Yeah, I think scale matters. But I think our scale is adequate if we want to achieve, because we have 30 branches and 70,000 clients, and we definitely will move into 80,000 very soon. and that could be sufficient. But I think we have to, if we are going for digitalization, I think our cost, we believe that could be reduced significantly, and that would help. And also with our quality increase, we should be able to increase our prices and then make it sustainable. I think, and we are very much committed to achieve that.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much. Now I'm going to launch a shameless plug for ourselves for a moment, because you mentioned the challenges around digitalization and digitalization of enterprise support services. So we looked at what would the pathways look like for digitalizing enterprise support organizations, partly as a result of COVID, where everyone had to go online, at least for a period, in order to deliver, but also recognizing that digitalization is a subject that's challenging everybody at the moment. How digital should we be, and if so, how do we do that? So here's the shameless plug. If you go to our website and argidius.com, I've dropped the details in the chat box. You'll find there a report that we did with Dalberg and with a number of our partners who were thinking about this, and thinking about what were the pathways and what were the questions you had to ask yourself about achieving the right balance between face-to-face digitalization right the way through to full digitalization, if that's where you want to end up, and created a number of case studies around organizations that have gone down this journey, and hopefully that will be helpful for people who are thinking about this process. Because certainly one of the questions that we have is digitalization is obviously a very important component of what we want to do. There are costs involved, which you obviously mentioned, but also how do you ensure that your quality of provision of service is transferred to a digital platform or a digital approach. And so when you think about your own digitalization, where do you think you might end up in terms of how much of the support you want to offer will be digital, how much will continue to be face-to-face? You showed that fabulous picture of the motivational training, not difficult to imagine online, but not impossible. So where do you think you're going in your digital journey?
Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, we have digitalized part of the operation. I would say the back office functions, the issuing coupons and accounting, training, program, budgeting, planning, registering clients, all these things are digitalized, and it is in our ERP solution. What we want is to bring, what we want to see is that, okay, still the physical coupon is there. We want to see whether we can go into a digital coupon instead of that. And also the clients use their mobile phone to access services. But sometimes the part of the services would be physical, because as you say, training, I would say most of the training, or 90%, 80% training should be physical. When COVID is not there, it doesn't affect. And we should try as much as possible. But there could be services like business counseling and certain type of training, and providing the business information about business registration, marketing linkages, and offering some solutions for environment could be possible online. And I think both should be there. And if there is no physical touch, I think maybe we are wrong, because we don't know much about what digitalization can make. Of course, we believe at the moment, current thinking is that it is only part of the process or part of the total package could be digitalized, and there should be a physical presence also.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And so as we come towards the close, and you wanted to give a piece of advice to a microfinance organization that wanted to go down this path, what's the key piece of advice you would have for them? what do they need to really think about if they want to go on this journey of building enterprise support into their offering and making it sustainable?
Yeah, I would say first thing is the commitment from the top. The board and the key management personnel should believe in this, and it should be part of their key objectives, and it should be embedded in their at least sort of strategic goals or mission level, and that is one important thing, because otherwise it won't happen. Second one is that it is not that that you can achieve sustainability within a short period, and it will be a long shot. You have to invest your resources and get it, but you will see, you have seen basically the PAR figures, PAR 30 figures, that tells you the story. and because that is money for MFI. Therefore, I think this commitment and not expectation of a very quick return can be two advices that I can give. And yeah, have separate sort of team. In our organization, we have a two separate team. The credit people doesn't go for enterprise, and enterprise people doesn't go for credit, unless of course there is a critical need like COVID situation. But otherwise, have clear demarcation.
Super. Thank you very much, Anura, for that fascinating account of your journey in integrating enterprise support services into a microfinance institution. And yes, I think one of the great things that we need to drive home is indeed your PAR rate, and which also is amplified by other research, which shows that combining finance together with enterprise support can indeed be a cost-effective solution for the organization. So thank you very much. And I think we're coming to the end. So things keep flashing at me. Yes, it says close. So I'm going to say thank you very much again and bring this to a close. Thank you very much, Nora.